Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Isabel. I am an event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Before we begin, we have a quick housekeeping. Take a moment to consider our code of conduct. We are committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep our comments respectful and constructive throughout the session. Drop your questions in the chat. We'll be keeping an eye out for questions throughout the session for the presenters and answering live. Our session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. This session is called Data Factory Connector, Lifecycle, and Upgrade. And I am delighted to hand over the spotlight to our amazing presenters, Jen Lei and Linda, who are a principal product manager and a senior product manager. So let's give them a warm virtual round of applause. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Isabel. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this session. So in today's session, I have Jianlei with me. We are from the data integration team of Microsoft Fabric. And in today's session, we'd like to share with you some innovation we did in connectivity area for Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. So let's get started. And before we start this session, I'd also like to share that this session is part of the Reactor series for Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. We have a bunch of sessions planned for this upcoming months. And you can see from this is the glance view. And we also have the aka.ms link that you can learn more from there. And for all those sessions, we'd like to share with you different capabilities that we offer for Data Factory in Fabric. And also, we offer the series we have two series to cover different time zones that you may in. So check this out, and you can register the sessions that work best for you. In addition, as mentioned, all those sessions the recording will be available on the YouTube, so you can check that out offline as well. Then let's get started for today's session. As usual, we'll start with the Microsoft Fabric. You may already using the Microsoft Fabric, but for those that are new to this service, Microsoft Fabric is really a unified data platform for AI transformations. It offers you all the different capabilities that you may need when dealing with data, all the way from data integration, data engineering, data warehouse, databases, real-time analytics, and Power BI reporting, all etc. That it offers all those capabilities for you to get the data, transform the data, reporting the data, all that you may need. And all those workloads are centered around the One Lake as well in the Fabric platform. So One Lake, you may heard the term that it's the OneDrive of data, that you can store all your enterprise data inside the One Lake. And on top of that, different workloads can just work against that single copy of data to further help you do the data analytics or do the reporting and to derive the insights from all those data. In addition, all those mentioned capabilities are integrated with the AI to really help you accelerate the task to be done to do those data analytics workloads. And all those are governed by Microsoft Purview as well. And in today's session, we're going to talk about more about the data factory part offered in Microsoft Fabric. If we move to the next slide. So Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric provides you the rich data integration capabilities. Some of you may already using the Azure Data Factory or the Azure Synapse Analytics on the past service. So Data Factory in Fabric bring those existing capabilities onto Fabric. In addition, it also provides the self-service data preparation capabilities with Power Query, which is also a familiar stack that is offered across different services as well. So all those combined, Data Factory in Fabric is really an integrated SaaS platform for data integration needs, and it provides the no-code, low-code, or pro DI capabilities that you can do those data integration needs. And those are integrated with Copilot, and also we offer some open source integration as well. And as we double click into the data factory capabilities in Microsoft Fabric, in next slide. So Data Factory provides a rich set of the built-in first-class connectivities to help you really connect to different data sources that you may have in your enterprise, all the way across file-based data stores, databases, NoSQL stores, SaaS applications, others sitting in the cloud, on-prem, in virtual network, multi-cloud, all etc., to really help you connect to different data sources for different data integration needs or data analytics need. And Data Factory provides the data movement, orchestration, transformation capabilities as well on top of those different connectors. And as we double click into those areas of capabilities in next slide. So for different of those different areas, we provide different sub-items as well. For example, for data movement, we offer the copy job, which is a really easy way for you to move data from any source to any destination. And we also offer the copy activity in data pipeline with more configurations available to also move the data around. Those are for the data movement. And for orchestration, we have the pipeline, which you can design a sequence of the data task of workflows with flexibility, like you can do the data copy, do data transformation. There are also control flow activities to branch. Also, there are notifications to, for example, send emails, etc. available inside the pipelines, and you can orchestrate that to run on a schedule or on demand. In addition, we also offer the Apache Airflow job, which is the open source. If you already have that open source footprint, then Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric can help you orchestrate that as well. And also for transformation front, we have the Dataflow Gen 2 that has the built-in transformations, a rich set of built-in transformations available for you to do that ELT or ETL job. Also, if you prefer to use notebook, we also have the notebook integration that you can invoke a notebook from Data Factory pipeline as well. And all those, we know that it's very important for you to really manage that in an enterprise-grade offering. So all those have the Git integration for source control, and also we provide the CI/CD offerings. For example, there are deployment pipeline integration, so you can propagate those configurations from across different environments, from dev to test to production, or etc. It also provides rich observability capabilities, like you can monitor all those different jobs that running across different items, and with insight on the execution details for you to check more execution insights, and also to diagnose any issues. So all those integrations are running on top of one lake and powered by AI as well. And as the title of this session, we're going to talk about the best in-class connectivity first. So Data Factory in Fabric provides 170 plus built-in connectors across file, database, NoSQL, SaaS service, and also we provide native integration with many Microsoft Fabric items like Lakehouse, Warehouse, SQL database, etc. In addition to those built-in connectors, which is built by Microsoft or certified from third party, we also have the custom connectors, that 1,000 customer connectors that are built by customers, used for self-use, that is built through our connector SDKs. So for the data sources that are not yet available as the built-in connectors, you can also develop your own connector on top of our connectivity infra and SDK, so as to serve your own business need. And while we already offer a bunch of the connectors, I'd also like to share with you the connector roadmap. So here is a glance view. This is to give you more idea. On the left-hand side, those are the different connector enhancement or new connectors available that we added in the past few months. So you can see that we added a bunch of the new connectors into the data pipeline and Dataflow Gen 2s. So you can check the list here for different type of the connectors. We also adding those based on the customer feedback we got to address the most common needs. In addition, on the right-hand side, we also list some of the connectors that are coming soon, which we are actively working on those or planned. So you can anticipate those coming into the data factory in Microsoft Fabric in the near future. So in addition to a list of connectors that is listed here, we are also adding some additional, like the common authentication types that are being frequently asked by the customers, or etc. And this is not the exhaustive list. In addition to the new connectors, we also keep enhancing the existing connector capabilities to improve this, enrich this its functionality, to improve the performance, and to address the feedback as well. So keep that in mind as the connector roadmap, but also stay tuned for our future announcement for any connector improvements. So when we talk about a connector, it's not alone. So connector is actually used across different workloads that we offer in Data Factory and even beyond. So all the things start with configuring a connection, connect to that data store, and also to really configure how to get data from the data source or write it into that. So we provide a consistent get data experience in Microsoft Fabric, which is available in pipeline like copy activity or in copy job, in data flow, and even other workloads in Microsoft Fabric as well. So inside that get data experience, you can create new connections to the data source or choose an existing connection that you may have, or you can directly point to Fabric item through the OneLake catalog. Then you can just directly point to that, then configure the subsequent work task that to get data from it or write data to that. So we continue improving this get data experience to make sure that you can get through this configuration steps as easy as possible and make that experience really seamless for you when you interact with different connectors. In addition to that, when we talk about connecting to a data source, there are a bunch of surrounding capabilities that is very important to you that we definitely hear from you. One thing is the enterprise security features. As of available today, we provide trusted workspace access, so you can trust the workspace to access your data store in a secure manner. And also another thing that we got from you is about the credential-free authentication types, which is the workspace managed identity authentication. So we are working on this support so as to provide you the service-to-service authentication that can really be helpful or asked by many customers for especially the operationalized workflows. And in addition to that, you may have the data source in different environments, hosted in multi-cloud or sitting behind a firewall or even on-prem. So we provide the flexibility to connect to that data sources securely across different environments. So there are components called virtual network data gateway or on-prem data gateway that different options for you to connect to data sources behind firewall or sitting on-prem. And just in the Fabric conference, we announced the public preview for VNet gateway support for pipeline like copy activity and also for copy job as well. So those capabilities is now handy to you that you can just use that in the production Microsoft Fabric. If we move to the next slide. Another very frequently asked feature is about the Azure Key Vault integration. So Azure Key Vault is really the service that helps you enterprise customers to really consolidate and govern all the credentials. This is very important for you to manage the credentials for each data sources you may want to connect to. So this is the AKV integration is something we're working on as well. And in fact, I will announce the sneak peek and this for you as well in the near future. So in that way, when you configure the connections to the data sources across different workloads, then you can just point to a secret or a certificate that you already have in the Azure Key Vault. Then the copy or the flow copy job or etc. will just grab the credential from AKV when it is executed. So just expect that feature coming soon as well. Another thing very important we hear from you is about the performance or move the data efficiently across from any data sources to any destinations. So Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric really provides you the petabyte scale data movement capabilities to move the data efficiently with ease and being cost effective. So it is available across when you move data across different type of data sources. And you can see from the GIF showing up in this slide, when you run the copy activity, you can see the detailed execution insights as well to see the performance insights and also to help you diagnostic any performance bottleneck that you may have to further improve that when you run that copy activities. And it's available as of today as well. So next thing I'd like to share is the copy job item. So we understand that moving data from any source to any destination is very important, and we really want to make that handy for you and make that experience really easy for you to config. So we move that copy job item as a top level item for in the Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. So you can now just create a copy job and easily configure the batch data movement or even for both the snapshots or the incremental data changes through the copy job to move the data around efficiently. And this capability is just announced generally available in the Fabric conference. So you can just directly go to the Microsoft Fabric and use that. So we want to ensure that the experience is very simple and very easy for you to config. And all the Data Factory will manage that automatically to move the data at scale and make that performant for you. So next, I'd like to show you a quick demo about the copy job, which also will demonstrate all what we talked about the different connectors available in Data Factory and also the Get Data Wizard that is really simple for you to find the data and config connect to that. So let's play a demo of that.
Right from my Data Factory homepage, I'll create a new artifact to kick off the data copy process. After naming it, you might notice this beautiful UI. This is the new modern Get Data experience. If you haven't seen it before, we've modernized our Get Data experience so everything is really easy to navigate. And directly from this experience, I can pick the lakehouse to move data from, and another lakehouse in a different workspace as a destination. And just like that, it is easy moving data across workspaces. How awesome is that? This copy job has an even more exciting feature, the ability to perform incremental data loads. This means you can update your data in near real time every time there's a change. Let me show you how to enable incremental data loading with this copy job. I have created a new copy job item and I got some sales data on an on-premises SQL server, and I don't want to load it every time. I'll connect to an on-prem SQL server and I'll select the database and choose the tables I want to copy over. Then, for this example, I'll land my data into another SQL database as a data destination. Now I'll choose a data movement type, either a full batch copy or an incremental copy. Let's go with the incremental by specifying the watermark column for each table. As soon as we kick off the process, the copy job from our external SQL Server database to the other SQL database begins. Within a few seconds, you can see an initial snapshot of my tables copied over. From there, subsequent copies only transfer the changes, which save both time and resources. For instance, if I go back to my SQL Server, I'll go and insert a couple of rows to the customers table, and only those 2 rows will be copied into the next run. When I check back in my copy job, I can see those 2 rows have been incrementally loaded in. We can also manage advanced configurations like read-write behaviors, partitions and latency, and monitor the job status through throughput and data volumes. While incrementally copying tables is impressive, we can do the same with file systems too, from any source to any destination. In my Amazon S3 bucket, I have a bunch of product images that contain large amounts of product images. I've set up a new copy job to incrementally copy these images from my S3 bucket into my Fabric Lakehouse. And in just a few seconds, those images have successfully made their way into one lake. If I navigate to my Lakehouse, you can see all my product images in their specific folders right there. And now often, we have images being added to our product catalog, and I don't want to keep on copying those images from S3 over to my Lakehouse. I have a new folder, number 20, with 10 images that I need to be added to my catalog that I want to incrementally load into Fabric. Watch how easy this is. I'll simply drag and drop the folder with these images into my S3 bucket. Now, if we navigate back to my copy job, you'll see that the new images have already been incrementally added in. And just like that, I can open them right in my Lakehouse instantly.
This is a quick demo for copy job to give you more idea. And also in the latest announcement for that copy job, we also announced more capabilities added there, like the additional connectors available there, public API, CI/CD support, or added copy job, or etc. So you can check out our latest announcement to learn more. Well, we'll talk about the breadth of the connectivity options that it provides in Data Factory and the top workloads that utilize these connectors for data integration needs. So for next part of the session, we'd like to share more about how we really offer those connectors with reliability, security, and make those align with the latest standard in the industry to really empower you to utilize those connectors for your data integration needs.
For the great introductions on the Microsoft Fabric, as well as those great innovations and new capabilities that we have just shipped or upcoming within Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. Next, please allow me to have a deep dive on connectivity and its life cycle stories. This story and the concept of the life cycle is to empower every individual users to be able to connect to any data sources with the most reliable and secured connectors, which also will include as much as the latest standard techniques from the industry so that you can get the most powerful capabilities with the security and reliability guarantees. So while we are talking about the connector lifecycle, we actually are trying to deliver this life cycle and the stories with the concept of versioning, which is pretty similar with many of the other products or workload is doing. So let's take a look at what customers can benefit from this connector lifecycle story. So first of all, like I just mentioned in the previously, customers can always use the most secure, reliable, and the most performant connectors to connect to their data sources, because we keep updating and catch up the latest techniques from the market with collaborating with different data providers, so that we can always make sure that the connector you use through the Microsoft Fabric or the Data Factory will catch up the latest techniques and have the most secure and reliable connectors. With that life cycle story, customers can actually have full control and be able to manage their business workload in the cadence that they prefer to, which means customers can always have a predictable way of getting acknowledged on what will be upcoming from the next Connect version and what I will get from the new version and how I can plan my resource and capability in my projects for the next upgrades. This also gives customers the full opportunities and advantage for their existing jobs because this basically guarantees that their existing jobs will continue to run with stability and without any disturbance. Because data factory connectivity is actually is built by collaborating with different data source providers. Because of that, while we're trying to introduce the life cycle story, we actually are trying our best to minimize the business interruption, which was brought directly from different data source providers. Give you an example, like one data source providers might introduce like the behavior changes or the new features without fully backward compatibility with their new APIs. So by adopting the latest API or technologies to bring the secure, reliable connectors into your business, instead of breaking the existing connector behavior, so we provide a new version so that you can completely manage the cadence or the upgrades by yourselves after understanding all the impact. So these are the core values that we want to bring with the connector lifecycle story. With that, let me give you a more deep dive into the release and upgrade cadence. Basically, when we introduce different connector versions, we have major version, we have minor version. And of course, the service itself will have different patches based upon different need, like the security mediations or the bug fix, etc., etc. So only the major and minor version requires customers awareness, and the customers can make their choice of when and how I want to upgrade to a certain or to one or multiple connectors. But for patches, like we fix a bug or we fix a security minor issues, actually the service will take good care of that without any awareness or customer facing and changes, etc. So basically, here are a couple of scenarios, but not exhaustive list of when we will prefer to introduce a new version in the life cycle for a individual connectors. For example, when we have some protocol change, which was introduced by the external data source provider, and that change might lead to any like potential behavior changes. For example, which I will give an example later on, but I think there are multiple connectors that we will mention in the following deck is how we want to adopt the latest or the newest protocol for the connectors so that you can have the most latest techniques from the data source provider. In that case, we will prefer to introduce a new version for the customers to adopt instead of to the existing ones. And of course, there is some cases that we want to correct a certain behavior for the sake of enhancement or optimization for example, like data integrity. We want to have a more corrected way of represent the data information, including like the precision scale, which is just an example. But that also gives us the chance to correct the connectors to a better behavior, which brings better data integrity. So this might also introduce a new version, either major or minor, to the end users so that they can evaluate and upgrade when it's needed. Besides the capabilities or functionalities, we also want to share that when we want to introduce the new security fix or we want to optimize for the reliability for a connectors, then that will also potentially introduce by a new connector versions, minor or major. With that said, the life cycle stage here, you will see that it's not different from many of the other functionalities or features that we delivered. For a distinct connector type, it has its own life cycle. From a private preview, which means we release and we collaborate with a number of customers so that we can get sufficient feedback and data points for us to evaluate whether this connector is stable enough for the next stage, which is the public preview. So in the public preview, we will get more usage and data points from more customers so that we can also evaluate the quality and criteria for a connector version to be general available. For each of the connectors, its life cycle is no different from the others, from private preview to public preview to general available, and then to the end of life or end of support. But we will guarantee that for each of the version that we support, it will at least last for more than 1 years. So the customers will not be scared or worry about how much I invest today will be like how long I need to plan for a life cycle, or I need to plan for a upgrade, because we will make sure that your upgrades will be valid at least for more than 1 year. And we will also limit the maximum number of different like version within one connector, so that it will minimize your maintenance effort or your resource on managing the life cycle. But on the other hand, you will get the latest functionalities and capabilities with minimum resources here. So by working with many customers in the past couple of months, here is what we get and learned from different customers from their practice of upgrading a connector version to a new one. First of all, it's obvious that the customers are recommended, as always, to understand our connector lifecycle schedule and its impact to your business. This is a connector level information which we will provide through multiple channels, including public doc, including communities, including many external sessions that we deliver, and help our customers to understand for a certain version in one connectors what will be the schedule for a public preview, GA, or end of support, so that you can, in terms of those informations, you can evaluate whether and how you can plan your project. And what's more important is what are the new values or capabilities that you need to be aware of from the new connector version. Of course, you always are recommended to do the test and validation before you deploy it or adopt it in your production pipelines or workloads. So be sure that you do the solid test and validation on the new connectors, and then you can adopt the new version afterwards. We always will recommend the customers to adopt the latest version rather than the earlier version, because the latest version will always include the latest optimizations, either through functionality perspective or through the security perspective. So as long as we have the latest version, we will always recommend the customers to try it out and give us the feedback. Of course, you are not alone, because we will provide sufficient support through different channels during your migration. You will always be you are always encouraged to provide with us your feedbacks through, for example, the email, through the support channels, through the communities, because we are so open to listen and hearing from your side on your experience on the upgrade. We offer, in the meanwhile, we also offer some upgrade tours, and some, like, we will also plan to offer more guidance in a way of tutorials to help you to migrate. But so be sure that if you have questions or queries or feedbacks, don't be hesitant to share with us. Okay, with that, let me share a few more examples for the connector version 2.0. First one is Snowflake connector. Snowflake connector is such a critical and popular connectors in the data factory portfolio. So we released the version 2.0 in last year, and we received quite a few feedbacks by working together with the customers. And actually, those feedbacks are so great to help us tune the Snowflake v2 into a better status. And we still have a few features to be delivered very soon in this month. But in general, for the Snowflake v2, we actually provide a much better performance, which is benefit from by adopting the standard protocol that is designed for the high performance data access, called ADBC. Of course, we work together with Snowflake team to offer the more secure authentication in the Snowflake v2 key pair ORs. With the upcoming deprecation from the Snowflake side on the user or username and password authentication in later this year, 2025, by using the latest key pair authentications will help you to mitigate any risk from security-wise. So this was actually released in Azure Data Factory last year and will be released pretty soon in Fabric Data Factory for both pipeline and data flow. This is one of the connectors that we already have many successful stories and running on the V2. So we expect that more and more customers will start to adopt V2 with those features. And of course, we already can foresee there will be more upcoming features that will be shipped through the version 2.0. So please consider this as one of the very important upgrades in your project. And second one is the Salesforce connector. So Salesforce actually released bulk API v2 for years, and we received many customer feedbacks and requirements on adopting this bulk API v2 because it actually brings more powerful capabilities in large data load. So by taking advantage of this, we have released Salesforce v2 as a new connectors in this lifecycle story. So customers are encouraged to use the Salesforce version 2.0 and can take in full advantage of the new API from Salesforce side. And also we have shipped more secure authentication type support in Salesforce. This together with many upcoming and features in Salesforce v2 will help the customers a lot in their business. So you can get more information from our public documentations, which will give you a full list of the difference between the version 1 versus the version 2. This can help you to understand much more better on what value you will get from the latest version. The third case is the Oracle connector. Okay, it's another very important and popular connectors. So by working together with the Oracle team, we actually released a Oracle version 2.0 by using the native Oracle drivers. The version 2.0 actually has improved a lot in the data integrity by preserving the large the large decimal data type. And also it supports the industry standard TLS 1.3 protocols, which gives user the chance to, or the value to transform information through the network in a more secured way. Of course, Oracle Wallet support is one of many customer asks from in the data factory. So we actually support wallet in the new Oracle connectors version 2.0. So last but not least, what I also want to call out is that with all the examples that I give, like Snowflake, Oracle, Salesforce, right? We actually are working directly or in a more direct way with those data providers like Oracle or Snowflake. In that way, we actually can provide a more prompt and better supportabilities with like for any issues, security issues or bugs that needs to be fixed, we will actually react on that in a more faster approach and give user a better experience on the supportability. This is another bonus that you will get from upgrading to the latest version. Next, I'm going to demonstrate two demos on the Oracle connectors. One is in the context of Azure Data Factory and the other is Fabric Data Factory. You will get how it works with this, this Oracle version 2.0. Let me play the demo.
Hello, everyone. Today, I will demonstrate the Oracle V2 connector in ADF. Let me first give a brief introduction about it. The Oracle V2 connector is implemented based on Oracle's official native .NET data provider, aiming to provide a better user experience. This includes, but is not limited to, bug fixes, support for new features and security mitigations, while maintaining consistency with the main functionalities of V1. My demo today will primarily showcase Oracle V2 and its key functionalities in 4 parts: creating a linked service, copy activity, lookup activity, and script activity. Now, let's dive straight into the demonstration. The first part is the creation of a linked service. Here is the UI interface for the Oracle linked service. The design of V2 follows a versioning approach. So when you click on 2.0 here, you can create the linked service corresponding to V2. The app model of V2 uses a property bag with required properties including server, username, and password. Let's start with the server property. To enhance the user experience, this property natively supports both the Oracle-defined connector descriptor format and the Easy Connect Plus format. In this demo, I am using the Easy Connect Plus format. Considering that these formats can be somewhat complex and include certain subproperties for user configuration, we have collaborated with the Oracle team to develop an allow list feature for this property to enhance security. This ensures that only the allowed properties can be set. For example, if we add the SDU property, which is not on the allow list, and test the connection will fail. The error message will clearly inform the user that an unauthorized property has been set. As for authentication, V2 remains consistent with V1, supporting basic authentication. Users only need to input their username and password to connect to the Oracle database. Additionally, recognizing that V2 introduces changes to data types compared to V1, we've added a property called Support V1 Data Types in the additional connection properties to facilitate migration from V1 to V2. When users set this property to true, V2 will maintain the same data type behavior as V1. Next, let's take a look at the copy activity. In Oracle V2, the connector can be used as either a source or a sink, consistent with V1. As a source, we support the partition feature, allowing customers to choose between physical partitioning or dynamic range partitioning based on their needs. As a sink, V2 supports bulk loading, similar to V1, for loading data efficiently. For this demo, to fully showcase the capabilities of Oracle V2, I've chosen a copy activity that transfers data from Oracle to Oracle. At this point, the table selected for the sink does not yet exist. If we try to query the row count in this table, for example, using SQL+, an error will appear indicating that the table does not exist. In such cases, we can use the pre-copy script feature supported by the V2 sink to create the table used by the sink before copying the data. Now let's run this copy activity and wait for a moment. All right, the activity has completed successfully. You can see that we've copied 3,193 rows of data from the source table to the sink table. To further verify the results, query the row count of the sink table. After the copy, you can see the row count matches the activity output, confirming the successful transfer of data. The third demo scenario is the lookup activity, where the configuration is similar to the copy source. Here, we'll demonstrate the usage of the partition feature. If we directly preview the dataset used by the lookup, we can see that it contains 4 rows of data. Going back to the lookup activity, we select the dynamic range option for partitioning. Once selected, the drop-down menu for the partition column will display the available column names to choose from. For this demo, we can see the ID column can be selected, then we set the upper bound to 6 and the lower bound to 1. As expected, the lookup results should return 2 rows of data. Now let's run this activity. Okay, the activity has completed. We can see that the output matches our expectation, returning the correct rows based on the specified partition configuration. The final demo scenario is about the script activity. Here, I've used 4 script blocks to demonstrate the functionality of the script activity. First, we create a test table. Then we insert 2 rows of data into it. Next, we query the first row of data from the table. And finally, we drop the test table. Oracle V2 supports the use of query parameters in script activities. More specifically, it allows the use of positional parameters or named parameters as placeholders for parameters. In the second script block, we use a positional parameter, while in the third script block, we use a named parameter. Let's run this script activity. Okay, now the activity completes successfully. We can see in the output that the value of val3 is 50, which matches our expectation. That concludes my demo on Oracle V2 for today. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any feedback or questions.
Great. Next, let me show you how the Oracle Connector Suite works in Fabric Data Factory.
Hello everyone. Today I will demonstrate how to use the Oracle connector in Fabric Data Factory. Before using it, please follow the documentation to install the Oracle client from Microsoft Tools on the machine running the on-premises data gateway. Next, let's take a closer look at how to use the Oracle connector in Data Factory. First, you need to create the corresponding Oracle connection, which involves 3 main steps. First step is to input the server information of the Oracle database. This supports the use of connector descriptor, Easy Connect plus naming, and TNS alias. Second is select the corresponding data gateway and ensure that the Oracle client from Microsoft Tools, OCMT, has been installed on it. Finally, input the appropriate credentials. Currently, Data Factory only supports basic authentication. After creating the connection, we can use it directly. Similar to Azure Data Factory, ADF, Fabric Data Factory supports using the Oracle connector in copy activity, lookup activity, and script activity. Here, we have pre-configured these 3 types of activities for the Oracle connector. In the copy activity, we transfer data from Oracle to Oracle. In the lookup activity, we use the partitioning feature to retrieve the dataset from Oracle. And the script activity demonstrates the process of creating a test table, inserting data, querying the data to verify the insertion, and deleting the table. Now, let's run this pipeline and wait for a moment. Okay, the entire pipeline has completed running. Looking at the results of each activity, you can see the copy activity copied 3,193 rows of data from the source table to the sync table. The lookup activity successfully retrieved 2 rows of data as expected. The script activity's output parameters also confirmed that 2 rows of data were successfully inserted. This concludes my demo. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. And So to wrap up these sessions with those upgrade tips for the connector lifecycle, just want to pretty much repeat what I shared earlier. First of all, always practice those upgrades in your development factories or workspace to make sure that you get your new connector version tested and validated, and it does bring the new capabilities that you need for your pipelines or for your different workload. And second of all, we have provided sufficient or many materials for you to take reference. So always don't hesitate to go for visit our public documentations for the features that are supported in different versions and why you would prefer to do the upgrade. The screenshot on the right-hand side shows you a glance at how we will manage and talking about different behaviors or features through different versions and how you can do a smooth upgrade with the guidance from our documentations. But if that's not enough, don't be shy. You can always reach out to us through the support channels, through the communities, or through the emails. And you are not alone. We are staying with you and making sure that you can enjoy the best-in-class connectivities in the data factory whenever you make the decision. So thank you so much for listening to these sessions. And here is the email. You can send us your queries, your questions, or your feedbacks to this email regarding the connector upgrade and lifecycle. Hopefully, you will join these sessions and get a understanding of what is connector lifecycle, what you will get from the lifecycle, etc. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye.
I will hand over to Jianlei